Good evening, ladies. Today's video, we are going to be talking about meme coins, mostly because that's what I'm interested in this week. We're going to start off the show talking about, I'm going to get off Pump Fun. Now, one sec. I'm streaming on Pump Fun as well. I'm going to share my screen. Let me just get that going. We're going to be talking about Pump Fun, Bitcoin, meme coins, and if anyone's in the chat, feel free to ask me questions. I'm just solo today because maybe Comfy Jen's going to join. I better send him the link as well. Sorry, invite guest, copy. He's probably not going to join, but there we go. Okay, cool. So first, let's talk about Bitcoin. So as you can see, open interest. Bitcoin had this crazy leverage flush. It broke down from this kind of range. Everyone got really scared about what Jerome Powell was saying. He was basically continuing to be cautious, continuing to be, what's that word? Not the opposite of hawkish. Not crazy hawkish, but he's like, people were expecting him to kind of signal if he's going to do rate cuts in September. And basically he said, yeah, unlikely. So that was basically what this big leverage flush is. And as you can see, again, like Bitcoin's holding up really, really well. Like same in this kind of area here. This was when there was like 80,000 Bitcoin sold or moved. Like 80,000 Bitcoin was moved. It absolutely dumped. It was all sold and Bitcoin recovered straight away. So super bullish. Bitcoin is just going to stay in this range. And generally usually when Bitcoin's in a range, like just chopping around, like altcoins can do well. So altcoins, there has been pockets of outperformance on altcoins. I've been saying, like, I think it might take a minute for Bitcoin to break this range. But yeah, like I think everyone kind of assumes Bitcoin eventually is going to pop up at some point, whether it's now, whether it's in a few months, who knows. It would be pretty annoying if Bitcoin broke like down here, and then that would kind of signal we're back in this range, which would be pretty shit. So bullish for memes. Maybe we can talk about a few memes. Let me open up Deck Screener. These are the memes I'm looking at. This has pumped again. Oh, it's dropping now again. This neat coin, I've been talking about this for a while. I really love this coin, but you can see anytime it kind of breaks out, like it's probably quite easy to trade. The reason this pump happened because Alon, the founder of Pump Fund, bought some, and yeah, he's bullish on this. It's a Pump Fund coin, and the reason it's pumping now is because the neat page on Twitter just keeps going viral. So if we go to neat, they had another like anyway, they had another post that went viral. Like they get like 50,000 likes and like crazy amount of likes. So neat coin is doing well. Let me see if there's any questions in the chat. Grand. I hope everyone can hear me. This is just going to be a quick one. I like neat coin, but yeah, probably don't buy here. But anytime it gets down and back into this range, it's probably going to pump out of it at some point, and eventually I think it will break out properly. Another coin that I'm looking at as kind of maybe a shorter term play, like I was saying, we've been talking about Pump Fun a lot. This is, as you know, like I'm streaming here on Pump Fun, and I'm streaming on Pump Fun, so you can see that there. I kind of like the idea of Pump Fun as a streaming platform, but that's what they're going for. And Gainsey is like the biggest streamer on Pump Fun. And you can see this big wick is because he announced that he's going to have Kobe on his stream. So that will be huge. And I think, yeah, I think if that happens, you know, like people are going to definitely tune in to Pump Fun to watch the Kobe interview. So leading into that, I'd say this coin can do well. I'd probably sell once the stream is live, probably sell the news event, but there's a little trade idea for you. So he's going to have Ansem and Kobe in his streams coming up, so that should be pretty big, because I don't think Kobe has streamed for like years, and he's like the biggest legend of crypto Twitter, so that probably will get a lot of viewers. Let's have a look at the Pump Fund chart. Pump Fund has been a miserable trade. I know a lot of CT got into it and got absolutely wrecked. I bought a bit of it, and I'm down probably 50% as well. I kind of said in my last stream, that you kind of want to wait for it to start an uptrend again. So I said it might do something like this, bounce, and you want to wait till it makes an uptrend again before buying. Now it kind of looks like it's in a bottoming process in my mind. Now, would I be longing it on purpose? Probably not, because the funding right now is fine, but the funding often gets really, really high. So if you did want to get into Pump Fund, like, I was even surprised it got below the ICO price. So this, this kind of range hopefully should be the bottoming pattern. Like, let's say it just like chills in here for a bit. Once it can break out of here, that's probably a nice entry, like somewhere there, and then hopefully it can get back up to new highs. But yeah, I think it takes a while, but I think Pump Fund should come back. Obviously, markets, it depends on the markets as well. But yeah, obviously you can cut it if it breaks below this new support zone. Kind of seems like 2 billion fully diluted seems like a new support, hopefully. But if it does break below that, you can cut it. Would be kind of the idea with that one. Because we know Pump Fund's market share has been absolutely vamped recently. It's been completely taken over by Bonk Fund. So that gives me, this is another like play. Like, obviously you want to be paying attention to Bonk ecosystem coins at the moment, because they're just completely taken over. Stuff like Useless, which I totally missed and I'm sidelined on. I think it's a pretty shitty meme, but potentially you could keep going. The other Bonk coin that I think they're trying to push. So Solport Tom is the founder of Bonk Fund, and he says he's going to be back in this coin here. He bought 1% of this coin. Is this the right one? Let me see if this. Yeah, I think it's the right one. But he bought it, I think, at this little point here, and it just pumped a lot. So I think he kind of wants to push this coin a bit. So Solbert Tom is pushing it. He's the founder of Bonk Fund. So potentially that could be another meme coin idea. What do you think about the water coin? Yeah, I did actually see that water coin. I don't know that much about it. How's the chart looking? So I think it's, I don't know, it's something. Oh yeah, it's looking good. I did see this yesterday. I didn't buy it, but I think the idea with it is it's like a real brand, like selling water that's like eco-friendly, sustainable. And I suppose the analogy is only 5 million, but it's kind of similar to, which we've talked about in previous streams, Rect coin, because they have their Rect drinks. And this has been the best performing coin. Like, Jesus Christ, look at that. Like, that is absolutely outrageous. Now, I think we were talking about it like at 200 million. We were like, no, this has gone up too much. Like, I wouldn't be buying here or whatever. But yeah, in hindsight, like, that would have been still a great entry. But yeah, it's just gone so parabolic. But yeah, even still, it does look like a risky chart to buy. But I love the Rect guys, OSF, Mando. So I'm unfortunately not exposed to this. But this is kind of like the idea with internet capital markets. It's like building real businesses and using a coin as marketing effectively. And that's exactly what Rect has done, but also Pengu. Like, same idea. They're making the little toys and stuff. And doing whatever they're doing to push the brand. Like they have all the Giphies. Now, obviously, Pengu is pumped crazy. Rect has pumped like crazy. Like personally, like Pengu here, I've been selling a little bit of my Pengu. Actually, I sold the top perfectly, bro. But yeah, I don't think this is the top, but I think it could potentially be like a local top. Kind of looks like a bit of a double top there. So I wouldn't be buying into any of these here. However, like this is what internet capital markets. This is what the real implementation of internet capital markets, like the successful implementation of internet capital markets has been so far. Has been Pudgy Penguins and Rect. So I guess that's what Water is going for. But yeah, I don't know enough about it to tell you more about it. But that's another interesting one. So thanks for that. Am I in AWR? I don't know what that is. I got some Pengu and SPX. I don't know what AWR is, so no, I'm not in it. All will retire. Cool. SPX, that's been the best performing meme coin of this cycle so far. It's been like very impressive. New all-time highs, yeah. So I actually got it back like here. I sold most of it by now. Unfortunately, I should have held it. So yeah, SPX has been crazy. Now, so we're talking about launch pads. We saw, so obviously Useless that we looked at. That's the main runner on the Bonk Fund platform, which is like the biggest launch pad right now. So as long as Bonk is doing well, Useless is probably going to do well. We also know that Jupiter has a launch pad, and that's actually, I think that's overtaken the market share, just within like certain days. But I think the Jupiter launchpad has overtaken the Pump Fund launchpad on certain days as well. And their main runner is Uranus. And that's actually doing really, really well. Okay, let's pull back a little bit here. But yeah, that's been doing well. So it's kind of like the launchpad wars at the moment. And so Uranus is the main runner for Jupiter, which obviously is Meteora is a part of Jupiter. And now there's a new launchpad. So Useless is on Bonk. The main runner on Pump Fund, I guess, is like Farcoin, but I suppose Pump Fund doesn't really have like one main runner. But the Jupiter one is Uranus, and now Orca if you know, Orca was like one of the original Solana dexes. They brought out their own launchpad, and the idea with their launchpad is like it's like anti-bot, anti-sniping, like super fair launch stuff. Like they brought out a load of tech, or so they say, to make it anti, a bit more fair and stuff. So I think that's an interesting idea. And no idea if it works or anything. But the main runner on there I saw is Orcasm. I think it's pulled back a little bit, but let's do it on the 15-minute. I thought that was kind of funny. So basically the bet with this is if people start using the Orca launchpad, which is no guarantee that there will be, this is the main. Let me actually show you the Orca launchpad. What's it called? I can't remember. Wave break. Oh, this is a little smaller one that I thought was funny on the Orca launchpad, but that's like, really, really low market cap. Wave break. So the largest market cap one is still Orcasm by a long stretch. I saw this when it wasn't the largest, and obviously, well, not obviously, but I thought it was like the best meme out of the lot. And it's easy to launch a token, and there's all these mechanisms to make it safe and better for everyone. Let me just check the Pump Fund stream is working. 10K subs in YouTube. He is live. Okay, whatever. No. Yeah, I think if the Orca Launchpad does well, this could do well as the main runner. Like, you know, the main Jupiter runner is, what did we say, 50 million? So 50x, like no chance it's going to get that high, but, you know, just to put things in perspective. So we talked about Gainsey, Pump Fun, yeah, all the different launch pads. The other news today that I saw, which I was pretty bummed about, but whatever. Chill House launched their NFTs. Oh, here they are. So they launched NFTs. So, you know, Chill House is one of my favorite memes at the moment because it's just so funny. And I was hoping they'd hook me up with some whitelist or something, but I probably should have messaged them. Nevertheless, they sold out, and yeah, Jesus, they're doing really well. Floor price 2 Sol. I think the mint price was 0.2 Sol, so a 10x for these. How's the Chill House chart doing? So fair play to Chill House. Yeah, it's doing well. Little pump off the back of the sellout of NFTs. And moving on to NFTs. NFTs have been performing really well the last couple of weeks. So it's good to see an NFT mint out in Solana. That's like the first one I've seen, like semi-hot one in like years, realistically. But in general, NFTs, like since the last time we spoke, I think it was about two weeks ago, Ethereum NFTs have pumped significantly, particularly CryptoPunks. CryptoPunks are over 200 grand again. So that's a good sign. It means like, obviously CryptoPunks are the only, like they're, Jesus, 4 times a Bored Ape now. They used to be like, Bored Apes used to be higher than CryptoPunks, but CryptoPunks are the OG NFT. So the fact that they're doing well kind of bodes well that, you know, there is some latent demand for these assets at some point. Maybe it's still a little bit early for, you know, crazy NFT seasons that we had in previous cycles or in the last real bull cycle. But it does show that there is some demand still for NFTs at some point at the end of the cycle, I think. So Ethereum NFTs are doing well in general. Bitcoin NFTs pumped. Let me say over the 30 days. Yeah, like Node Monkeys are like the biggest PFP project on Bitcoin, up, you know, what's like 160% in a month. Taproot Wizards, like everything kind of, you know, bounced nicely off the bottom. So you'd hope that that's the bottom for ordinals and Bitcoin NFTs. That's on a 30-day, as you can see. Yeah, like Moonbird's up 3x. Pudgy's doing well. CryptoPunk's doing well. Everything doing quite well over the last 30 days. Solana, not quite as much because, yeah, even Mad Lads are actually down on the last 30 days, which is surprising. I still have a few Mad Lads. I still like them. But, yeah, Solana hasn't really been hot in general as a chain. Just like got a little bit out of fashion. And it's all about Bitcoin and Ethereum now because they're pumping because of TradFi and everything. And I think, you know, Bitcoin became the super TradFi thing. Like all the treasury companies are going after Bitcoin. Now it's Ethereum's turn, and all the TradFi companies are aping Ethereum hard and making the treasury companies for Ethereum. I think it's very obvious that next they're going to be looking at Solana. They're going to be looking at Hyperliquid maybe. And they're making Solana treasury companies and Hyperliquid treasury companies. But I think, you know, TradFi are very good at looking at fundamentals. That's kind of their deal. Crypto bros are very good at looking at which is the most retarded meme. So we're not good with fundamentals, but TradFi is, and eventually they'll realize, okay, Solana has way better fundamentals than Ethereum, and Solana is going to pump off the back of that. This has been like mostly a TradFi cycle so far. So once Solana pumps, potentially some of these meme coins will pump along with them. Project Aeon on Solana, which is the SPX one. That's on Ethereum, isn't it, actually? How do you even spell that? they're the NFTs in relation to these ones. Relation to SPX, yeah, Jesus, 2 ETH for one of these. I haven't seen that many people use these as profile pictures, but they're still performing well. Miladies obviously are like the main crypto Twitter PFP that people use, and CryptoPunks. So that's brilliant that I think NFTs are showing some promise that they're not completely dead. The other thing that pumped a lot this week or the last couple of weeks is Zora, which I basically completely faded. But like there was a lot of nice trades to be had around this coin because the funding got so crazy. But Zora it's like another kind of friend tech thing where it's on base, so that's why I kind of faded out. And you basically make creator coins and they're meme coins tied to the creator, that kind of thing again. But yeah, that's been doing really, really well. So completely faded that. Obviously, if ConfuGen was here, he'd be able to tell us about that because I think he was all over that. But yeah, what he said, chill has NFTs. Oh, he swept those. They're up. Oh, I covered that anyway, ConfuGen. That's a shame he's not here. Could have talked about that. So he did well on those because they pumped hard. I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to talk about in today's stream. Let me see if there's any other meme coins I was looking at. Orcasm, Uranus, Pengu Rect. I think there was another couple of ones. How do I scroll this way? Oh, here we go. I was looking at this energy one. How's that doing? It's chilling out. Few shills for this. I don't really get it. Another one I was looking at. These are just ones I was looking at today. No, this one's dushed. I'm still buying Giga. It's still my favorite meme. I think it's my biggest meme that I hold. But yeah, the chart isn't looking hot, and I'm just hoping that this is a bit of accumulation zone, but we'll see. I could be wrong. This is obviously, the way SPX is doing so well. It's because Murad is pushing it, and he realized like Dipwheeler pumped just one singular coin the entire time, and that was Farcoin, and he realized he'll have much more success just pumping a single coin instead of trying to pump like 10 coins at the same time. Murad did, but the second coin that he pumped the hardest is Giga. So maybe eventually he starts pumping that again and starts talking about it, and that could be bullish for Giga. Detective, that was another meme. That looks pretty dust as well, but I'm sure you saw that meme being really hot. Another one is on Hyperliquid. Oh, guys, sorry. These guys are actually a meme coin that are making, I think this was the pump off it. They're actually doing like some utility. They're going to start market making on Hyperliquid and using the profits to buy back Road. Maybe I just made that up, but I think they are doing something with market making. And yeah, there's only one token, so the price of a single token is 4.2 million, the same as the market cap. Reverse unit bias is the idea with that. Let me see if there's any questions. Off topic, what are your thoughts on XA38P? Haven't a clue what that is. Laka coin pumped 1,000% today. NFTs are going to die super fast again, though. NFTs are going to die super fast again. Well, they didn't die super fast last time. They actually were they died really slowly. They took like a year there was like a downtrend for like a year. I'll see if I can show you. Like, for example, Bored Apes. Like, you look at the chart. It bled out. Oh, this is volume. How do I get it? Oh, like, it bled out over the course of, I'm gonna have to show you on OpenSea because this is only from 2023. But sure, you can get the idea. Like it was 60 ETH, another few months. They bleed out really slowly, NFTs, because they're illiquid. They kind of, people tend to hang on to them for far too long. So they actually like 2023 was a depth of a bear market, and these were still like 50 Ethereum, and it took all the way until June 2024 for them to hit a bottom, and now they're still in the same price zone. So like they actually didn't die fast; they actually died really slowly. And not that these are dead. I do think Bored Apes are going to come back with a vengeance at the end of the cycle. Probably. Like, do they make all-time highs? Probably not, but I wouldn't like completely rule it out. But I do think they will have a pump at some point again. Be listening to your channel since you put me on chain link. Lol. Oh man, that's a long time ago. That's so cool. Glad to have met you virtually. XCA3P is Elon Musk's new blockchain. 2 years in the making. Okay, I probably would have heard about that. Does anyone else know anything about that? Hi, what's up? Cool. All right. Was there anything else I want to talk about? What NFTs are good? Yeah, so where's Magic Eden gone? I did say, like, I do think the Pudgy ecosystem could be like close to a local top here. Jeez, they got to 4 ETH. Jesus. That was before the Memecoin launch. That's crazy. So maybe they do have another pump into the abstract launch. Like obviously this whole pump of the Pudgy coin as well is off the back, well, partially off the back that there's going to be that abstract launch. And as you can see, everything like had this nasty wick when Jerome Powell was talking. But yeah, there is going to be that abstract launch. It kind of feels like it's coming soon. And just from the way Luca Nets is talking. And if you haven't been farming it, I did do a farming video on it. So I'd say it's probably worth farming. It's an interesting ecosystem. There's a few meme coins on there and stuff. And it's mostly like, it seems like kind of a gaming chain. They also want to be a streaming chain as well. So kind of like a consumer chain, and there's some good aspects to it. If you want to try that out though, I did do like a full in-depth farming video on it, and there's basically nothing like new that you need to know, an update from, apart like that video's like got all the info you need. All right, guys, I might end the stream there. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and yeah, I'll see you again next week. I'll make a video tomorrow, and yeah, I'll be a bit more active. So appreciate you all checking in, and catch you soon. Cheers. See you later.